to my new YouTube channel about my life here in Ukraine. If you're watching this, then you're probably considering coming yourself. So you obviously want some help filling out the application. It's not as straightforward as it seems. I had to get a little help with that myself. Before I left Canada, and I was really considering seriously coming to Ukraine to do missionary work and to teach English, I couldn't find hardly any videos about just simple daily life here in Ukraine. And so here I am giving it to you. So let me preface by saying, before we start with the application, if you are from Canada or the US or a number of other countries, which you will find on the consulate's website, you can come as a tourist for extended holiday, even 1 month, 3 months, 90 days, you can come with no visa. Just get your passport ready, pack your bags, and come on down. So that being said, the visa that we're going to be looking at today is my religious visa, which if you want to stay long term, you need to do that. If you want to stay for the 90 days, volunteering, right? There's a difference between tourist and volunteering religious organization. You know, that's two different categories. So, I mean, it's up to you. You can come as a tourist and then do other things if you like, as long as you're not working. But if you want to come long term, like I did, and get your temporary residency, you need to start with your, what used to be a 45-day visa, it is now a 90-day visa. So let's get started on filling that thing out, shall we?
Okay, so here we have the e-visa as you would have it online when you're filling it in. I just put a regular profile photo of myself in there just to have something in the space. And obviously you'll have to get a proper passport photo with the proper dimensions. Here is the number, the CV number, the SV, and the numbers after it. Now your personal information, you don't need my help with that. From 1 to 9, I'm sure you know your name and your place of birth, and all that information there. So you can fill that out on your own. Here, ignore this. This is for the embassy to fill out. Number 10, let's go to number 10. Let's start at number 10. We have national identity number. That does not include you. So unless you're some kind of special diplomat, 10 and 11, it's just an ordinary passport, and I put not applicable on here. Your passport number is on the inside of your profile page of your passport. So that is a pretty prominent number. It's 2 letters and about 6 digits afterward, numbers after it. And you'll also find the issue date and the expiry date of your passport. I did 10 years because I knew I would be traveling. And the city. I was living in Ontario at the time, so the city that I was living in where my passport was issued, that's where that is, and that will also be inside your passport. And your home address in Canada, obviously, and your phone number. And let's see. So the number 18, residence in a country other than the one where, other than your nationality. So, yeah, fun. Okay, so there we go. So let's see here, just a little bit. No, you are not in another country. I was with this most recent visa that I did it in Ukraine, actually in Poland. So that will be on another video that I will be posting shortly for what happens when you miss your dates and you have to do the whole process over again from in country or just with outside of country. So anyway, no, this is you're not in any other country. You're in your own country of Canada or the US. I believe the application forms are relatively the same with America and Canada. So, but you can see this here. You can see here whether it's the same if you're an American looking at this. So 19 is I put my current occupation. I'm an online teacher. That's how I support myself here. When I left Canada, I had a couple of businesses. I was self-employed, so I put, and again, as an online teacher, I'm self-employed, so I just put dashes here. Let me see if I can do a close-up of that. You can put dashes. You are allowed to do dashes. And so then we have down here on the bottom, la 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 la. Okay, let's see if I can go up close here. All right, there we go. 21. This is a purpose for your travel. So this is the religious visa, missionary activities, D6. If you are coming for a 2 or 3 month or 2 week missionary trip, then you might want to do a visa for a 90-day visa. If you're just coming as a tourist, as I mentioned earlier in the video, you don't need a visa at all if you're from Canada and America and several other countries, which you will find on the embassy's website, a list of countries that will allow you into Ukraine without a visa. So, but if you're doing volunteer and religious activities, that's different than volunteering. But honestly, Ukraine is not sticklers about that. They're really a lot more relaxed than other countries about things like that. Nobody's going to ask you, what have you been doing for 90 days? Okay, so, but if you're like me and you want to stay longer, you have to put long-term stay. If you're going to get your temporary residency, you need to put long-term stay, more than 90 days, so that you can set yourself up in Ukraine for your temporary residency after that. And then final one for page 1, right here, don't do 1 or 2. Number of entries, multiple entries, because you might be coming in and out. You might have to zip over to Poland or whatever to get everything done. So that is page 1. Okay, page 2. Here we go. This is up here at the top. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. At the top. Yeah. So previous visas. Okay, so in my first one, I put no because I had not come here yet. But this time I did have to put yes because I had a previous visa and I had to redo my visa. So I put the dates of my visa. But if you're coming from Canada, you haven't been here before, you just do no. Entry, this has to do with Crimea. You're not passing through Crimea. No, I sure hope you're not. And also, are you passing through Ukraine to other destinations, maybe Russia or something? You put no. And intended date of arrival. These 3 here. Let's see. Let me focus in a little bit for you. So this will be, you're picking a date that is beyond, you have to calculate the visa. Now, if you're doing a rush job and paying double money for your visa, you want it done in 5 days. Pick a day about, a week and a half after those 5 days, because you do not want to buy a plane ticket until you get your visa back, because you can't go anywhere without it. So wait for your ticket. Pick a date. It's kind of a relaxed date. It does not have to be written in stone. Obviously, you don't have to have proof of a plane ticket or something like that, because they know that you can't buy a plane ticket yet until you get your visa back. So pick a date that's a little beyond that. If you're doing the 10-day and you don't want to do the full, the double price is about 175 or something like that Canadian. The 10-day one is last time I saw it was 75 or 79 or something. You'll have to call the embassy to find out the exact price, and I I'm doing another video telling you explaining what goes in the envelope, how to properly send it so that nothing goes wrong and you get your stuff back in the time that you want. So for now, that's what you're doing here. If it's a 10-day, then do a date 2 weeks beyond this. Because then you're not going to get caught with the wrong dates or something. Not that it really matters that much. And this is 90 days after this date. And then over here, I'm not sure why they did a third spot here. It doesn't really make any sense to me because these dates are the same as these two dates here. So you're just putting them together in one spot. Intended date of stay in Ukraine is this right here. And so this 2930 is if you are invited by a friend or family member. So their address and name is here and contact information. One thing that Ukraine is sticklers about is where you are. You have to be registered. Every home has a certain number of people registered in it. And if you come here, they want to know where you are staying. So I was invited the first time. Let's see, the first time here I had the information for the missionary organization I was coming with, but they weren't the invitees. The invitation letter that I got was from the Baptist Union. I'll explain that in the next video. I won't get into that now, but they were the inviting. I had an invitation letter from them, but here I had the missionary organization's information and the director of that with her information. But this time, I got my church. I'm involved with a church here now, so they did my invitation. So their information, the complete information of that church. It's a very long, legal sounding name with a very simple one after. You have to put the whole thing and the email and contact information for the person if they have to contact them. So let's just push this back up to get to the bottom. Let's see. So we have that, and then we have, let's see, expenses. So you are here. Let me focus in for you. Expenses as regard to travel and stay. So how are you taking care of yourself? Is the organization taking care of you financially? Is some other organization or yourself? I did myself. Again, my next video will explain about that and the documents that go in the envelope that goes to the embassy, the Ukrainian embassy in Ontario, in Ottawa. And this is for minors. Maybe if you are youth with a mission or something like that, you have to have your parents' information here and where it was issued. So in my first one, I had it was issued in Ottawa. So I had the Ottawa's address here and the date that was done there. This time I had to do it from Poland, so the Ukrainian consulate in Poland, that information there. And then you just sign it. There you go. That is the whole thing. Let me just back it up a bit, as you can see, and then you sign it before you send it off. And that's it. That's page 2, and that is the whole e-visa and how to fill it out. I hope it helps.
And that's it for filling it out. So in the next video, I'm going to show you what documents that you must have and how to send them. And from what I saw in America, the procedure is kind of the same as far as how to send it and process it. The fees and things like that, fees will be a little different. But the quickest way for you to get it back and not have any problems. And please don't pay anybody. Don't be lazy. I looked at companies and services that would charge me anywhere from $100 to $300 just because I didn't want to deal with my own visa application and what documents I need and sending it off. It's not that difficult. Save your money and just do it this way. Follow what I've done and you will be fine. And don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, and watch for future videos because it's going to be a fun ride.